Hello, boxing aficionados. This is Stacy Dash, and welcome to NWJ, the world's most dangerous boxing page. At a time where truth is dangerous, Jay pulls no punches. So get your hands up and keep swinging. And don't forget, subscribe. Peace.
There's a saying in Texas that goes, fool me once, shame on. We can't get fooled again. Remember that from George W.? I thought of that when I heard Zack's analogy to Michaela about the bees, where he was talking about sitting under the tree. What'd you guys think of his analogy where he was talking about sitting under a tree, reading a good book, and it's like you want to finish the book, but a bee comes flying along and you like shoo him away, he gets in your face. You know, you start reading again, he comes along, you shoo him away, he comes back, and then he stings you. So that was his analogy to Michaela about, basically saying that he can't trust her. And, I know she's getting tired of it. I guess she's thinking, man, I wish I would have reacted different because I'm never going to hear the end of this. I just think they're all wrong for each other. I think she might have some anger issues, but I think he might have some forgiveness issues. So she could bring up, what's the saying? Unforgiveness is like drinking poison, hoping the other person gets sick. So she could bring up that analogy. He's got to let it go at some point. I mean, they just met and, sure, she canceled the housewarming, but you ended up having it. So you got to give her more chances than that. You can't just keep holding that over her head. She looks like she's getting tired of it. She keeps giving him that look where she kind of squints her eyes at him. And, he seems to be getting bothered even by her expressions. So, like I said before, he's judging her, or seems to be, off of his past situations, which isn't fair to her. He's got to, look at this situation for what it is. It's a whole different person. And maybe he should try to look at it more from her perspective rather than looking at it from his. If he does that, maybe he'll be able to get over it. But he can't keep coming up with analogies. And then he gave her later I forgot to talk about in my other video, his checklist of things he looks for. And then I guess he thought, he mentioned at the very last about conflict resolution. I guess he thought he'd mask it with the other things. And then, maybe she won't think I'm bringing it up again if I mention it last, but he still managed to work it in. I'm like, dude, get over it, will you? She got mad. She apologized. Either you want it to work out or you don't. But what'd you guys think of his little bee analogy? Like I said, it made me think of George W. Bush's analogy about fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, we can't get fooled again. That dude has some classic one-liners, and looks like Zack might be giving us some classic one-liners coming up in the coming up. I almost said in the future, but I caught myself. Coming up means in the future, so didn't have to say that. But my Married at First Sight people out there, what'd you think of Zack's bee analogy? Like I said, did you think it was corny? Did you think it was appropriate? Do you think he needs to let it go? At the beginning, I was advertising for my NWJ page, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe over there. Even if you're not into heavyweight boxing or boxing, I talk about everything. I'm going to review books. I'm going to review Alonzo Williams' book. He was one of the starters of West Coast hip hop, was the founding member of the World Class Wrecking Crew, and Dr. Dre was in it, and DJ Yella, DJ Clientele. And it's a real page turner. It teaches you some of the things about West Coast hip hop that you don't hear often, about K-Day, the radio station that, started everything off. So I'm going to be talking about stuff like that, not just heavyweight boxing. So if you want to hear about that kind of stuff and movie reviews, I got to talk about other stuff because this is a slow year for heavyweight boxing. It's called NWJ. Make sure you subscribe. This is the J. Roos Theory. And like I always say, be fearless. Yay, yay.